It's now the 1st of October 2025, which is the first day of China National Day, and time is now 12:43 p.m. Sorry, 12:40 p.m. afternoon, and I'm trying to look for a place where there won't be a huge crowds, because on national days usually there'll be huge crowds in certain more popular places. So I'm trying to look for a place to go to which is not too crowded, because I don't like to be stuck in the middle of a huge crowds. Here you can see two China ladies completely dressed up in traditional Chinese costumes, even with the headgear and with the traditional fan. In China you can very often see girls walking around like this, dressed in traditional costumes, either traditional costumes or the cosplay type of costumes. So that's very interesting. Whenever I see them, I would like to take videos or even pictures of them. Just great. As I got out of the hotel, I see them. Wow, amazing time to take a video. I myself do have many such kind of costumes, traditional Chinese costumes for men and also for women, because one of my hobby was doing cosplay parties. So during such parties, my lady friends would dress up in the Chinese female traditional costumes, while I'm dressed up in the men's costume, often as the Chinese emperor. And one thing about this kind of Chinese costume is that the sleeves, the hole at the sleeve is very wide. So when dressed in such costumes, it's very difficult to eat, drink or do any kind of mechanical work, because the sleeves are so huge, and the huge gap at the sleeves usually get caught in things, and yeah, but it really looks nice, but it's not so good for when you need to use your hands to do a lot of mechanical things. It's quite difficult because of the huge gap at the sleeves. I'm now walking from the Kaisedom Hotel to look for a restaurant or any place where I can eat some food, because I have not eaten breakfast and it's already now 12 plus in the afternoon. So I want to go and look for some food for lunch. I found a restaurant which I like, so I went in and I ordered this white rice with very delicious pork and potatoes and a little bit of green vegetables. Really love the food, very delicious and nice. After eating, I continue walking around. The food cost me 38 yuan, 38 Chinese yuan, which is Singapore dollars 7, which is equivalent to US $5.40. So far in China, I found that in almost all cases, the food is very delicious. In China, the food is generally good. I mean, very well cooked and delicious, and also hygienic. In my 29 days staying there, I have never ever got any stomach issue after eating. And also the variety of food is huge. You have so many choices that sometimes it's very hard to choose. Too many options. Here come the two China ladies again, dressed in traditional Chinese costumes. She even waved to me as I said hello to her. I took the Didi car and got to the airport terminal 2, Baiyun airport terminal 2. Here you can see the aeroplane crew pulling along their luggage bags. Notice that they all carry the same black luggage bags. Due to the China national holiday today, you can see there are so many China flags hanging all over the airport. You can now see a group of female airline hostess dragging along their luggage bags in pink blouse and skirt. This is the kind of jobs that many women like because it's supposed to be glamorous. This place I'm at is the Baiyun International Airport Terminal 2. Below this airport is a Airport North subway station, which will enable me to go to other parts of Guangzhou city using the subway train system. Previously, I did not have time to explore this airport when I just landed in Guangzhou from Singapore, because that time I was carrying about 57 kilos of luggage, so that was too heavy for me to able to explore the airport properly. So that's why here I am to explore this airport more properly. So from using the subway station, I can go to all the many interesting tourist places of interest all over Guangzhou city. At this airport, you can see many different check-in counters for many different airlines. Example, China Southern Airlines, Scoot, Korea Air, Qatar Airways, Air Asia, and there are also various lounge for passengers to relax. At this airport, you can also get SIM cards, arrange your transport vehicles to get to your hotels, and you can find tourist information here. And if you are thirsty, you can see free water drinking stations. Now of course, if you are hungry, you can go to a food restaurant here to buy some food to eat. This part airport is so quiet, empty, hardly anybody here. Here you can see people resting as they wait for their flight to go to somewhere. Look, there's a very cute doll and a cute kiosk selling things with very shiny exterior. If you are going to the airport to take a plane to another city or another country, I would suggest you get there early. Always go early. So for example, for international flight, usually I will be at the airport about 2 hours before my plane take off. In fact, I usually try to go earlier than even that, because this enable me to get to the airport early, explore around the place, relax, make sure I'm able to check in my luggage bags, and ensure that there's no overweight. Right before I go to the airport, I already weigh my bags, make sure that there's no overweight, since I don't want to pay a penalty for overweight. And then ensure that all the tickets are in one plastic bag, in one bag, in one small pouch. Okay, so that it's very convenient. Previously, when I was younger, I used to go to the airport at the last minute. So this was very, very stressful, because imagine I got stuck in the traffic in a car that's heading to airport, right? And then I'm so worried that I might get late, because if I get too late, arrive at the airport too late, sometimes the gate is closed, and then once it's closed, the airline staff won't allow you to go in already. So you lost the air ticket money. See, so that's why I feel it's too stressful to rush at the last minute airport. Better go early and relax, so you can really enjoy the trip without getting all stressed up. Getting to the airport early is very important, especially if you are going to airports which are extremely inefficient or very unproductive. For example, the Ninoy Aquino Airport at Manila, which is one of the worst airport in the entire world, where it's extremely unproductive. Okay, you may sometimes go in to the airport and discover a huge queue that takes half hour or 1 hour to queue just to go to the counter to weigh your bags. Alright, if you go to airports in Singapore or China, usually it's very efficient. Things are done very quickly and efficiently, whereas in places like the Ninoy Aquino Airport in Manila in Philippines is different, very inefficient. You may end up queuing until, even if you are early, you become late. Okay, so better go early, especially if you are going to an airport that's extremely unproductive and extremely inefficient. Example, the Ninoy Aquino Airport at Manila, Philippines. Got to go very early due to the likelihood of very, very long queue. If you buy very expensive goods while in China, at the airport you can fill in a form to claim a tax refund. Okay, that means when you fill in the form and you show your purchase receipts, you can get back, and you are tourists, foreign tourists, you can get back a certain refund for the tax. Okay, so this will save you some money. But if you're only buying if the value of the goods you buy is very low, it may not be worth the trouble to go through the trouble of filling the forms just to get a very small refund money. I would also advise that travelers should carry a digital portable weighing machine, small weighing machine, which you can buy from Shopee. Probably just cost only a few Singapore dollars. Why I carry two is because in case if one machine doesn't work, I still have an alternative. So this allows me, before I fly, I always check my luggage bags make sure that I don't go over the weight allowed for both my hand carry and my check-in luggage bags. Because if it's too heavy, the airline has a right to charge you a extra penalty fee, and usually the per kilo charge when you get to airport for excess baggage is very high. Okay, it's better to buy any excess baggage online first before you get to the airport. If you buy only when you get to the airport, then the penalty is too much. These digital weighing machines usually are very small, smaller than a normal cell phone. Okay, so it's very handy to carry it around to weigh your luggage bags before any flight. Look at those beautiful flowers, very colorful flowers in those cabinets for display and for sales. These flowers and dolls or teddy bears, they are useful for people who are romantic, who like to give flowers or teddy bears to their girlfriends or boyfriends or husbands or wives. But for me, I never ever give flowers in my entire life, because my thinking is that the flowers when you give, right, after a few days the flowers will all die, and then the flowers has to be thrown away. I'd rather buy something more practical, like maybe if I really want to give a gift to someone, I either buy things which are practical, things that can be useful, right? Or the other way, just give a red packet cash, then the receiver can use it whichever way he or she likes. Maybe don't make it too expensive, because you know, when you spend too much on a gift, right, then you may end up expecting the friend to repay you in some way in future, which is not good. Because what if she does not repay you in any way, then you may not feel so happy. So I always suggest, you want to give gift to a friend or anybody, just give something reasonable, but it doesn't have to be too expensive. When giving gifts, it's always advisable only give gifts to someone that you know very well, and best if it's someone that you have already known for a very long time, maybe for many years, where you already understand the person's personality and character. It's not a good idea to give gifts to a person that you just met for a very short while, because you don't really understand the person, the personality, and what he or she is like, right? Because I see that some people, when they meet a new person, they fall in love so fast, and they start giving a lot of money and gifts. And then when one party gives too much, and then in the end, if the relationship doesn't work out, then the person who gives too much usually regret a lot, and that's when there will be a lot of bad feelings when the relationship doesn't continue as expected. So always be moderate. Don't be too. It's not good advice to give very expensive gifts too quickly when you know a person only for a very short time. Just better to be patient. After exploring the airport, I went downstairs to the basement to the airport north subway station to take a train to this Zhujiang New Town metro station. as I wanted to go to the carrying a bottle of liquid or water. After going to the scanning machine, the security at the subway station may ask you to take out the bottle of water and have a sip of the drink to ensure that the water is not toxic and is not dangerous chemicals. Okay, so you just drink the water to assure the security that the water you bring is safe, not harmful. So every metro station in Guangzhou will have security scanning machine to check your bags. Even if you carry power bank that is not the CCC model, you may have a problem. So try to carry a power bank that is a CCC marking, the CCC marking on it. That is the safer kind of power bank in China. After you gone through security at the subway station, before you go through the gate entrance to get a train, you had to buy the tickets. I would suggest do not use the machine at the subway station because the machines are usually very complicated. You want to buy, let's say, a trip from this station to another station, you have to use a machine to work out how much to pay, then you make the payment, which is too troublesome. A better idea is to use on your phone. Okay, use your phone, because on the machine you got to key in which station they are going, and then you got to figure out how much to pay, right? That's too troublesome. So it's better on your phone before you even arrive in China. Make sure you download the Alipay app and the WeChat Pay app. Then inside, let's say for example Alipay app, you can click the transport app, transport button and then you can press a certain button to generate a QR code, and once you have the QR code, you can go through the gate. Okay, let the machine scan your QR code on your phone. You can go through the gate, and then when you get to another station, before you come out, you press another button which will generate another QR code, which you then at the gate you then scan your QR code to get out of the station. That's the best way. You're going to the machine to get a ticket is, I found, very complicated and difficult. So just better download your WeChat Pay or Alipay app onto your phone, and inside there will be the subway transport app inside the Alipay or WeChat Pay. I prefer Alipay Chat because, and especially for foreigners, because WeChat Pay sometimes they don't have proper translation, so you may not, if your Chinese is not fluent, you may not know which button to press. Whereas Alipay, usually there's a translator button. So for foreigners, I suggest Alipay is more helpful. I'm now at the Guangzhou Opera House, located next to HUACHENG Square. It is an interesting cultural attraction place where you can see musical performance on piano and so on. underground shopping mall. Still haven't found the entrance. I think it should be somewhere near here. So I end up at this place called the Opera House. I walked outside of the Guangzhou Opera House to see the scenery outside and to take some photos. I'm now approaching the HUACHENG Square or Flower City Square, and I know that below that is the Mall of the World. Yeah, the Mall of the World is an underground mall which is below the HUACHENG Square. As I wanted to go to the underground mall, the Mall of the World. It's an underground shopping mall with many restaurants and huge parking lots. This shopping mall is directly below the HUACHENG Square or the Flower City Square, which is a public square. The subway train cost me 8 yuan. Cost me 8 yuan, which is Singapore $1.50 or US $1.10. To get from the Airport North Station to the shopping mall, it cost me 8 yuan using the subway train.
牛排先生，请你吃牛排了。6，牛排先生，请你吃牛排了。
For me, this is not a good place to eat because it's overcrowded. If you want to eat, I'd rather look for a place that is not so crowded. Because if you go to a crowded restaurant, first, service will be very slow because there's a long queue of people in front of you. And then next, you can't get a table. You got to stand and queue for maybe half hour or 1 hour, which I think is just a complete waste of time. So I'd rather look around for a restaurant that is not so crowded, where I can get better service and faster service, and I don't need to queue and I don't need to wait. Right? Usually if the restaurant is too crowded, you may not get good service because the staff of the restaurant will be stressed from rushing to try to serve so many customers. So okay, I'm going to look for a more quiet restaurant. You hear the announcement on the loudspeaker, right? The restaurant has such a long queue of people that they even have to take a queue number, and then later when the food is, or when there's enough space, or when the food is already cooked, then the announcement will say, okay, your food is ready, or you have the space you can go in already, something like that. No? So yeah, that's what's happening, because that day, the 1st of October is the National Day of China, the first day. That's why, not surprisingly, the restaurants are super crowded. When I booked the air ticket from Singapore to Guangzhou, I saw that the ticket price was so low, $220 Singapore for two-way Singapore to Guangzhou and back. So I was worried that the price might suddenly go up. So I quickly make a booking and confirm the ticket, paid for the ticket. But in my rush to book the ticket, I didn't check whether there was any public holidays within that period. It's only later on, when I already paid for the ticket, then I realized that the 8 days national holiday from 1st October to the 8th October, that period is the National Day of Holiday, which means many places will be overcrowded. But by then I can't cancel my air tickets already. See? I don't really like to go to a country when they have a big holiday, because many places will be overcrowded. Anyway, in future, before I book and pay for air ticket, I'm going to check whether the place I'm going to, is there any national holidays or any big crowds or not caused by the holidays. Then I will avoid that country and come on another time where it is very quiet and not having any big crowds. Still at the Mall of the World, Flower City. Moving away from the restaurant, it is not so crowded anymore. This part is quiet. The worst part is the restaurant area, where it's so crowded. I always try to get away from the crowds, since I'm not comfortable to be inside a crowd. After exploring and walking around so long in the underground mall, I believe that I'm now no longer at the underground mall of the world. Because the mall is linked to some other malls, so eventually I seamlessly got into other malls, which is no longer the underground mall of the world. Eventually, after walking for quite some time, I found that I'm back at the GrandView Mall, the biggest mall in Guangzhou. So now I'm going to look for a quiet restaurant.
什么都算啊，日本。
对，有寿司，有omakase，然后还有刺身，然后主食料理那些都有的。对，可以看一下。
有面吗？
烧鸟也有，寿司有刺身，寿司都有。
那好像是日本的，对吗？
对，日本的。
I know that Japanese restaurants are usually more expensive, but at least this restaurant is more quiet. I don't want to go to a very crowded restaurant and queue for 1 hour. So I think this restaurant is okay for me.
这是员工的包在下面，我帮你移过来这边。你
为什么呢？
因为下面有包。
什么包？
对对对，你可以坐这边。
哦，
我帮你移过来，好不好？
The food was expensive but tastes good, and the two ladies also were very friendly. I exchanged WeChat contacts with both the two female waitresses so that I could message them another day just to chat. Okay, so the total cost for the fried rice and the skewered meat was 114 yuan, Chinese yuan, which is equivalent to Singapore $21, which is equivalent to US $16, 16 US. The service really good, very friendly female waitress. Just that the food is a bit more expensive than normal. The two female waitresses are actually part-time workers. They are actually university students, but they go to work at the restaurant part-time when they are not in school. Although the restaurant is a Japanese restaurant, but the two waitresses are actually local students from China. I talked to one of the cook earlier on, and he said that he was trained as a chef in Japan. Time is about 9:18 p.m. or later, so I decided to start looking for the metro station entrance, which is linked to the shopping mall, so that I can use the subway train to get back to the Kaiserdom Hotel. Time to go back to the hotel to rest and shower and sleep.